Hello friends, my name is Rick and I'm sailing Frog's Leap, although admittedly not at the moment. No, right now I'm waiting out what remains of the 2023 Pacific hurricane season here in La Cruz de Guanacaste, which is on Banderas Bay, very close to Puerto Vallarta. It's already the middle of September. I can't get over that. In a month and a half, the 2024 cruising season basically starts. We're running out of time. But I feel like the big broad strokes of the brush have been done. And I also feel like taking the initiative in working with Mike to have a properly cut staysail on this boat is going to pay huge dividends for me in ways I don't really realize yet. And so that's what I'm excited about. One thing that I did get a feel for is when you start cruising, you don't want to do a lot of maintenance. I definitely wouldn't want to do a lot of electrical in really tight spaces, in inconvenient seas. So doing the prep work really matters. If I don't do it now, it's not going to get done. We're running out of time. So we're going to kick it off today by installing some of these. These are USB-A ports. Right now I only have two USB-A ports. They're right behind me. Right here, you can actually see I've got one in there to a charging cable there. And I've got also one of these like lighter style. But I don't like having these all over the boat. But having one kind of within close proximity of the galley seems like there's some wisdom there maybe. And then I've got these single USBs, which I'm going to move along the port side forward. I just like to have everything working on the boat and a lot of things accessible to me, and I don't like have to fight for stuff when I'm sailing. You know what's really nice is when you're in a heavy sea and you're trying to make it through the night and you just want to pull up your phone and you want to look at it and you want to charge it while you're looking at it, and you happen to be laying in the V-berth at the time and you plug the phone in and you realize, you couldn't have done that if you didn't put that little bit of work in, while you're in port. Those are the moments where the feeling feels really good. All right, so let's get this out of the way. I'll show you how much of a disaster the rest of the boat is. Yeah, that was the nice little cleaned out nook there on the port side, but then, oh no. Yeah. Oh, these are really cool. So these little fans, this is another reason why I'm putting these little USB ports around. It's because they're making fans now. Now, granted, they don't push out a ton of air, but they're super low current draw, like 0.03 amps or something. So I've tried a few of these Peak refuel meals and I really like them. There's a thickness to them, and I think it has to do with this high protein content. And just that kind of gives you that stick to your ribs full feeling. So I'll show you how this wiring is set up. I did this earlier, but this is the first unit that I installed. It's got a couple of USBs and one of those high current outputs here. And I ran the wiring under the overhead. Give me some feedback too. I'm not an electrician and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just using my brain and kind of going, okay, I could do it like this, right? But if you're an electrician or you know what you're doing, if you got a level up token, man, you got to throw that in the comments because I'll implement it. To me, what do I value? I value stuff that lasts a long time and is super durable. So if it's super quick and easy and that's the solution, that's not a solution I'll pick most cases. So in this clip, the source is coming from the right-hand side, goes into the terminal block there, and then the wires continue to that double USB fitting I was just showing you. But before I start goofing around with it, I need to shut off power to that circuit. I call that circuit the lazarette circuit because the fuse box is in the lazarette and it's labeled Laz on the switchboard. Well, as you can see, this is a really tight space. Almost impossible to get a camera in here while I'm in here. I got the old one out and I prepped the new one, and these are just little connectors, you know, so the source is coming from here. So when the source, I'm going to put the negative on one side and the positive on the other. I'm just distributing it over here. And you'll see it's the setup for a run of devices in parallel. So this is, again, one of those things I think you put in the comments and say, hey, is this the standard way you do it? Or this is just kind of the way my brain it seemed to make sense. Yeah, so before it was terminal block, and it really wasn't ready for expansion in parallel. Now I've swapped it out. Now with this 4-terminal block installed, oh yeah, I'm ready for expansion. I'm gonna need to go from about right here, underneath that shelf. I'm gonna go through there. I'm going to go with a wingspan and a half. A wingspan and a half. Just to be safe. Yeah. Time to run some wire. Yeah. I'm going to go with a wingspan and a half. Well, I've attached the fitting to the ends of these wires. Now it's time to just run them. I'm going to go with a wingspan and a half. So I've got most of the new wire run installed. Let me take you underneath and show you what it looks like. Here the source wires come up from the bottom and are distributed by jumper in the terminal block. So the pair of wires on the top left power the double USB in the galley, and this run continues forward and it'll power the single USB. It's time to drill this hole. Well, that hole turned out pretty good, but I still need another one. This little USB port will go right here, and I'm going to put another hole in the cabinet right here so the lines have a direct shot to get into the cabinet. Yep, through bulkheads and cabinets, I weave my way to make sure electricity has its say. Wingspan and a half. You know, the job itself isn't particularly tough. It's the inescapable humidity that you do get used to, but you'll notice I'll lift my glasses up from time to time, and I'm trying to get a look at what's going on because my glasses are so fogged. It's pretty crazy. And Blue Sea Systems all the way. I don't know if I saw it on a YouTube channel or where I saw it. Maybe I saw it on Facebook or something. And it had to do with, you have stainless steel winches to get them to really shine, because sometimes over time they'll get like this dingy kind of, well, I'll show you on mine. But I heard that if you hit these winches with some aluminum foil, just balled up and just scrub it, then it comes right off. I've never tried it before, so I'm gonna test it right now. Well, I'd say using the aluminum foil on those old winches works out pretty good. I'll see you guys next week. I'll be working on this other winch.